Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May his peace and blessings be showered upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. To Sheikh Abdul Rahman Mawejje and a brother at the same time through Islam Media. Sheikh Butane for a beautiful recitation. Mr. Mayanja, the organizing team, the Kosa community, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now I was tasked in a few minutes we are having to discuss how to find purpose and direction in life. Because normally I make it a routine before I give my lecture anywhere. Now maybe let me have 2 volunteers in men and 2 in ladies. Omugaso gwoki? What is your purpose as of now? Like when you die right now, tukujjukirako ki? How useful are you in your community? Simple. Abantu walize mulita mugenda kunpunziramu. I have a reason as to why I'm asking that before we proceed. Is the question clear? Is it clear? I repeat the question. The question is, omugaso gwoki? For the years you've spent, what is your usefulness? What are you adding in your community? That is the question. Mwagala kundekera kibuuzo? Am I in the right place? The hand is here. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okuyambako okukulaakulanya obusiraamu. Okay. Masha. Barakallahu fikum. It's a good one. Owokubiri. Sekama wejja wadise. Sekama wejja yajja okusemba. Alaikum salaam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For me, my purpose is just guiding people to the right path using the little knowledge I have.
What path is that?
That is guiding them in regards to the teachings of Islam.
So that is your purpose?
Yes.
Okay. So that means you're a sheikh in making, or you're already a sheikh?
I'm in making.
Okay. Barakallahu fikum. Thank you. Njagala seka babeje abasemba after the 2 ladies. Do we have any 2 ladies? There is a sister who requested for clarification in the question. I believe atekendo kubanga afunye answer somewhere at the back. Yes. Nothing like a trial? Okay. Hey, there is a sister there besides Sheikh Maweji. Maybe after her, then we give the Sheikh the mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay. Personally, I believe as a Muslim, you're already born with your purpose. That is to worship Allah. And in your community, ethic-wise, you could have many purposes. But if you cannot fulfill any, you can start with the one you have. That is to make sure that deen you have with you is spread to other people. And the thing with deen, it comes with all basic principles. That is being kind, being positive, and trying to do good like the Nabi did sallallahu wasallam. So I believe my purpose is to do as much good as I can in my community. And that is through making sure, that is through me using my deen to do it. But at least dressing modestly or talking politely. Through such practices, I may be of purpose even though I don't intend it. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu fikum. Thank you, sister, for a wonderful insight. The reason as to why akazindalo kadduse is the reason as to why you should be attentive. My assumption is I'm addressing people, ngojeko maybe me and Sheikh Maweje and a few. Your age bracket is from 20 to 30, right? Isn't it? Over 20 wala new. That is it. 20 to 30, right?
No.
Good. Islam is a religion that comes in to give guidance to whoever claims, subscribes to this religion. Aberenga achimanya, we are not a group of people that was designed obutabera na mulamwa where we are living. Now, me asking you, ntomugaso gwo ki as of now, for the years you've lived, what have you contributed to the goodness of your community, not even my community, but your social circle as a person who is a Muslim? It's a question that needs to spark off your reasoning somehow. Bw'obanga w'owangalira, all you're doing is exploiting that environment. You're as good as dead. And this is the guidance of Islam. Now, when Sheikh Maweje is like what he has done to the community, mu byakoze ebingi mulimu okutuzaalira, possibly it might not be your priority, kubanga okyali muto, you still have a lot of battles to come here and there. But what have you done in your age group to make sure you deserve our time okwogerako ng'ofudde? Now, it is sensitive in a way, nti ensi gyegende ekule eno, with the whole advancement we are coming through it, we are being groomed to be useless people. Just reason with me. Now, a 20-year-old, 50 years back, yali takola gwe byokola. Actually, they were more useful than you. Just have a discussion with your granddie. Have a discussion with your dad. By 20, yali akola ki? Have a discussion with your mom. By 20, yali akola ki? And now, just compare the 20 then and the 20 now. Now, because of the too much English, you would be like, now batulekemu kwensi yaite nabakula akulana, but right now ebintu bikyuseemuko, we have a lot. Ebikyuseemu, it's the level of distractions from what would be your purpose. That's why you're taking long to get to that purpose. Now, imagine today, omaliriza senior 6. Waliwo abamaliriza senior 61? Okay. Bwenkubuuza, with that advanced level certificate, right now, kiki ennyo ky'oyinza otukolera as a community? Do you have a direct response to that? Don't you really think nga bw'osanyuka nti omazeeyo abiri in your blanket and a pillow, it should be a question ekuchallenginga tamazima gali nti if you're struggling to just get something ky'oyinza okuaddinga onto your social circle immediately, wasomera ki? Tolabanga we baba batandika n'otujerega nti abasomye tebalina mirimu nabalinganga naffe abataasoma, like The simple analogy is bagenda babala mukonga. All you've done at school is sleeping, doing tests and examinations, nofuna grades. Naye ku ground tebakulaba. Like you're basically now one in the ground. Kati bagenda okulaba your counter view of omwane ya breaking off. I'm not trying to say your education is irrelevant. It is very relevant, but you have to spice it up by being purposeful as you're gaining it. Now, how many of us here were guided as you're trying to attain that level, to have that direction? Now, if this is the society we subscribe to as Muslims, a society that has nothing to do with intoxicants, now our assumption is you're going to reason as early as 14, 15. You've started to develop in your mind. By the time you click 20, agamagezi gaba mangi nnyo. Now just visit the history of Islam. You're Muslims, you know the history of Islam. We have companions that became companions at as early as 16. Aisha radiyallahu anha, by the age of 23, weyefirira. Maybe like Nabi weyafira, 23. She was the most clever. Nga mugezi nnyo, nga ina kikyatuwongeddeko. Now it takes me back to the question I want us to be guided in this session. Otuwongerako ki ng'omuntu? Now, as young as you are, bw'oba nga tolina answer y'ekyo ekibuuzo, butuufu weddeko. Wandibadde ova wano n'ogenda yonna gy'ovudde oba ewaka ne weebaka nga mu butuufu okirowoozaako. Try your level best not to be a useless someone. Nga sinaba nakuleeta bya aya because normally mutwambalira nnyo. If we don't relate the sociality with religion, always you are like abawalimu abo batuvuga nnyo mu bya aya balinga abagamba nti nabbi akyaliwo. Now I want you to understand from this foundation. Mbabuuzizza wano ekibuuzo nti a 20-year-old emyaka 5 emabega yali akola ki? N'owaleero akola ki? Now just to drive you back, what waliwo nange nno saaliwo naye just tusomanyi tubitegeera. 50 years back omwana ow'emyaka 2 omuvubuka yeggwe nno gwenjogerako owaaga yali atendekebwa by society to be a more useful person. Actually by 18 nga society maze omudeyinga nti wandibadde nno weerwanako. To be a man you need to make sure your tolerance levels are high. You need to make sure obugumiikiriza mwebuli. You need to make sure n'amagezi mwegali. Because the world is not fair to omusajja ow'ekyejo. Now by 20 nga taatawo gwe twogerako kati afunye maama we. Kati definitely togenda mufuna at 20 kuba gwe tekisoboka. It's another set. The least you can do is to make sure by 20 years omuntu awangadde for 20 years. Tetwagala kulabanga weeyisanga owa 10 years. There is a big difference. Now Islamically, nabbi bw'ayingirawo, even these verses we come out and recite, we want to talk to someone who is growing old. Nga mbutuufu byonna akula. Growth is happening physically and development is happening in the mindset. Nga tugamba nti kyekyo nno omuntu ono atukoze bulungi. Islamically, if we see you in 20, 21, 23, see age yammweyo 25 kati mbumba ngenze nnyo, 29 kati mbumukadde mumusekerera n'omumusekerera. We are like nedda omuntu oyo mukulu and they should have a purpose as they are living. Kati Allah bw'ayingirawo yatumalamu ekyejo. Because tayagalangako muntu kweyita nti musiraamu nga mukkiriza nga mubutuufu as they are living. There is nothing they are adding to a community. That's why in Quran, Surah Al-A'raf, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Emboozi njagala tuginyumirwe babiri. Our creator is like, وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. Abasiraamu abasoma Quran ne bagitegeera. Kale abatagimanyi kambayambeko. Na Allah agamba ti walaqad dhara'na li jahannam. Omuliro ogwo gwe tuwulira nange sigumanyi era nguwulira buwulizi nga ggwe. Naye Allah agamba nti yagutegeka ng'abagenda okugubeeramu kathiran min aljinni wal insi, abanaadigirira mu muliro ogwo mulimu amajinni nga mangi nno n'abantu. Nabbi bwe yali annyonnyola aya eno ne basahaba beekangamu nga kata amaanyi gabaggwemu, and then they were like, we baba bagenda kutwokya, what is the purpose of us doing whatever we are doing? Naye tebaapapanga paka nga nabbi agiggusizza. Allah was like, lahum qulubun la yafqahuna biha. It's not general, like every human being is going to be burnt, like every jinn is going to be burnt. N'atandika okumenyaamenya categories ki ez'abantu n'amajinni abagenda okubonerezebwa because of being useless on earth. Lahum qulubun la yafqahuna biha. It's a category of people nga balina emitima, but they don't make good use of them when it comes to internalizing and analyzing stuff. Si egwe nange? How many of us respond to the heartbeats of our own selves when it comes to doing right and wrong? Ku myaka gy'olina, the best thing you know is to break the trust ties abantu ze bakuyinamu. Now, I really have to put this as a point. Mbeegayiridde, wadde society gye tulimu terina nnyo mulamwa. Don't get distracted in this society. What this society builds you up, ekutendeka nti okyali muto siriwala. Kati bambi olw'okuba naawe olinga atalina nabbi, n'okola otya? N'osiriwala. But it waits for you, the same person, after being aided, okusiriwala. After 10 years and 5 years from now, it's the same society that is going to expect you to be a responsible citizen. A simple example, tolaba ku myaka gya 22, 23, 25, olimbye abawala 8. Kyokka otambula owooza tolina wakuluma, weerabidde 8 people ku myaka 21. Wallahi toyina mugaso. After those 8 people with the whole betrayal, omenye trust, awo nno ntagalidde mu byakwekwana, kubanga that's the age. Naye waliwo ne mu professionalism. At 21, you're still a young man, a young lady. Naye olimbye abantu, teri n'omu akwesiga. Tewaliiwo muntu agenda kwagala kurelatinga naawe nga the least they know about you oli mulimba. Now, in 10 years from now, your very friends are the ones that are going to decampaign you at work. Bamubuuzeeko nti seeka butane. Seeka mayanja oyo ali atya? Abagamba nti amazima gali nti okuggyako nga yakyuka Allah akola ebyamagero naye nze gwe mmanyi si mububi naye mugezeseeko kati mbw akuwaddeyo. Now, no one would like to relate with you. Ani abibagamba ebintu ebyo? Bunamwe mulinze nabbi abategeeze nti when trust is affected, when no one trusts you, newe kitwala emyaka 10, that trust needs to be built, and it doesn't happen miraculously. You don't know how many youths are struggling financially, are struggling to be useful, are struggling to just start up families. Lwansonga egi, no one trusts them. Now, when Allah is like lahum qulubun la yafqahuna biha, these are the very same people that own hearts within them, but they don't make good use of them. Now, it's something you already have. Nenga Katonda akwewuunya. Why are you not putting that to use? Bino byenjagalira ddala bino. Now, when we are attaining knowledge is categorized into 3 categories. Category number 1, Katonda bwe yali atonda ebintu byonna, yatonde ebintu aljamida, the non-living things, essimu, byonna abantu bye bakoze ebyo. Let's take an example of this phone. This phone, it has the following characteristics. It occupies space because bw'ogiteeka ewantu space evaawo. It even has weight. It's matter, in other words. Tesobola kweyongerako oba kukogga okujjako nga waliwo ayina ky'agyongeddeko. Now those are the characteristics of every non-living thing. The second category, they are those things kati ng'ebimera nga they occupy space, they have the ability of growing, but they don't move from place to place. Now those are plants. Ekimera womala okisimba n'okiwaamu emyezi mitono nnyo kikula ne kyeyongerako naye tolikisanga nti omuti guvudde wano w'ogusimbye kati emirandira giri walala, gubeera awo mpaka. The third category is a category of things, living things. They occupy space, they grow, and they have the ability to move from place to another. Byebisolo. Embuzi. Kwese embuzi yesinga emputu. Embuzi ogiteeka ewantu esobola n'okutambula from place to place. Ekula nno n'okukula kuba bagizaala nga nto n'evaamu omulamwa. When we were created, okumanya Katonda yakimanya nti omuntu talina kuba kwesirwaza. N'atuwa ability of occupying space, that is why you're there. N'atuwa ability ekula, that's why you're that old. N'atuwa ability moving from place to another, that's why you moved from where you are to here. And the last ability teyakiwa muntu mulala yenna is your intellect. Amagezi g'olina. Now, every faculty Allah gye yakuwa, faculty ey'okuwulira, faculty ey'okwogera, faculty ey'okulaba, ey'okutegeera, it's the only difference gy'olina ku mbuzi. Now, if you put that down, mwebam. Now, when this verse is like, وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا, the people that are going to be in the torment of the hellfire, nga Katonda ababonereza, abeewuunya, yabawa amaaso, but they don't use the eyes to critically analyze stuff, not seeing. Kuba omuntu alina amaaso nga, you add the word critical, manyi njogera n'abaana basomi. You know what that means. Critical kitegeeza, when you're seeing something, you don't just let your eyes off it without analyzing it. Gwe bayita omuntu omubuufu ng'ate musinaamu anaawona ettabbo Katonda omubonereza. Bw'olaba emmere ku ssowaani tokoma mu kulya buli. Your mind is engineered to respect whoever has put that food on plate. Your mind is engineered to respect yenna yagisimba. Now in the long run you're going to be gratitude. Weebaze obeere humbled. Because had it not been that, tewandiridde. Now that is a human being. Your brain is engineered nti buli ky'otuusaako amaaso, there is message there. Now when you're good to effective communication, you even know nti kye bayita okusoma omuntu. There is a lot to learn from the sight than from what is heard. Nsobola okugamba nti nkwagala nga nsmilinga, but if you're a critical analyzer, you would read from my gestures nti nkufera. Naye olw'okuba bambi amaaso go galinga nga jasiga kisolo kirala kyonna kyonna gw'olabula binookomaawo. Allah is showing you stuff. Katonda atuuka n'okuwaana abasiraamu abategeera nti abantu baagala bantegeere. Let them use their eyes. Look at the heavens, look at the rivers, look at the beauty of nature. That alone will drive you to who the Creator is. But if at all you don't have that capability, then you're just not doing as good as a human being. That is another category of people Allah bagenda okukola ki. Now, how many of us are critically analyzing using our eyes? Very well, just like Allah is speaking about them. Now, if you're not amongst them, obutuufu totukoze bulungi. Allah agenda maaso and he's like, وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. Akyatulangira. N'agamba nti abantu bennyini bengenda okubola. They are the same category of people that own ears, but they don't use them critically. Amatu gayina. Kale okubikutegeeza amangu kye kino. Olaba embuzi eyo tukozesa ensolo ki gye mutaanyiigireko mangu. Mbuzi Mbuzi? Mbuzi. Embuzi bw'ogiraba erina akamwa. Naawe okayina? Otyo? Erina amaaso bw'ogyetegereza nga nawe bw'ogayina. N'amatu just kale Allah designingamu katono nnyo n'agiwa amatu nga mawanvu mukko nga tegali nga gago, naye era erina amaki? Amatu. N'ennyindo nno erina. Naye enjawulo eri wakati w'embuzi eyo naawe omuntu. Embuzi bw'eba eraba kasita emala okulya obusubi ne yeebaka kiwedde, terinaayo budde awo mbu ate simanya eyasimba obusubi buno Allah mutwala emaka, simanya akolebwa. Ekkuse yeebase, kiwedde. N'amatu kasita ewulira n'ogikanga nedda wali eri, terina budde bulowooza nti ekibwatuse wano kyandinzita kanzire eno. In that second kijja kudda eno ekikoze eki. That's why a human being bw'aba takozesezza senses ezo nga bangi omulembe guno, wallahi tewaliiwo njawulo na kisolo ekyo. Mulekeraawo n'okunyiigira abantu nga babeesa embuzi. At times omuntu asobola okuyita ekisolo ng'akulaba takutegeera. Entambula omuntu ow'emyaka 21 takutegeera butegeezi, bakubuuzizza omulamu ago mu society yeriwa osese busese. Takutegeera butegeezi, akulaba owangaala. Naye wallahi toyinaamu direction as you're living. You're not even contributing on your own self okufuna skills z'ogenda okwetaaga as you're living in life. Mu butuufu bwe bakuyitanga tolaba nga olina kuba bukubi mu ngalo. All they are helping you is to help you find your direction. Kati Allah kwe kumaliriza nga atutegeeza nti ulaika kal an'am. If someone is in place okubanga ayina amaaso naye nga talaba, siriteeza nti muzibe, mu butuufu agalaba galaba naye tagakozesa nga walina gakozesa. Ayina amatu si nti kiggala, but they are not clever as they are listening. Actually, there is a big gap between hearing and listening. Kale ekyo kyandibadde awo, naye n'amagezi Katonda yagamuwa. Omuntu ono takutukoze bulungi, amagezi nsonga nkulu nnyo. When someone is like you're stupid, please try your level best to make sure kyonna kwe kivudde okuyitwa muntu atategeera okijjewo, because it is an insult to a human being okuba atakozesa magezi. Allah kwe kugamba nti if you're not in position to be that, to make effective use to any of those senses, ulaika kal an'am. There is no difference between you and any animal. Bal hum adal. When it comes to a human being atakozeseza senses ezo nga Katonda yazikuwa, wallahi n'ebisolo bikusinga. This is the statement of Allah. Saagala nnyo mpakanye, njagala nno nkutegeeze nti amazima ganye tigikusinga. Omuntu bw'abula asobola okusiruwala n'ekisolo ne kituula ku mabbali ne kimugamba amazima gali nti tukulese otususeeko weesiruwalire. Let me give you some examples. Gwe ne duniya ekulabikira ng'etaliimu basiru nga mu butuufu n'ekisolo kigamba nti kyekyo tuyiseeko tukkiriza. Don't we have people who are made nti abantu abo amagezi balina mangi nnyo oba amasiru balina mangi nnyo? Ogamba otya? Tekuba kubavuma. It is basically respecting what they are. Bal hum adal. Tetuyinaayo bantu olwaleero abagamba okuwangala kulaba ate mukyalaba ebipya nze mbabuulire. We have people today nga mulamu naye nga ye agamba nti trans-disabled bakiyita batya kyo kugamba they want to identify as omulema. Si mulema naye ayagala bagende bamufuula omulema kubanga muli awulira yatondebwa kubeera muki? Mulema. How do you define that? Kati tolabanga Allah bw'agamba nti bal hum adal. When it comes to a human, omwana Adamu bw'agamba nti kusiruwala talinaako speed limit, asobola okusiruwala mpaka kufa kwe kumutaasa. Now if we have a lady who can also identify as a man, kugwo kisoundinga kiti ekyo? Timuli na biology atandise, biology atategerekeka. muli I feel I'm supposed to be a man. I'm just trapped. I'm just trapped in this body of girls, of these ladies. Naye muli mpulira nina kubeera side y'abaki atagadde mu malwaliro ate weegali baagala ssente bamukaniseemu awo bamulunzerunze afuuse katimbunga ggwe ayagala omuwe ne respect nti ogamba otya musajja munnaffe. Now if we are analyzing all this drama, don't you really think obusiru bwaffe bukisussaamuko? Now when our creator is like balhum adall, when it comes to a human being ali bw'atyo purposeless, useless in that line, n'ebisolo bigamba nti tusiimye tuyise faawe tetusobola kukola ki kutuukawo. And then Allah is like ulaika humul ghafilun. They are the same categories of people who are lazy when it comes to finding purpose in life. Now only that verse is enough for us okubeera abantu abalina omulamwa mu dduniya muno. I don't want to be too much wordy, but please, from as early as yesterday, find purpose in your life. When the prophet chips in and is like, khairukum, the best amongst us, amfarukum linnas, ye muntu nga at least bwafa tukaaba. Now Allah bwakugeza kati ne weefiira enkeera, yenna agenda okukaaba agenda kukaabira ki? Tolabanga 23 years is just too much okubanga bakyakuyita omwana nawe n'ogamba alhamdulillah I'm still a young kid. 23. At least taata wakaabe ng'agamba nti omwana wange ono omukulu amazima gali nti abadde andaze signs nti agenda kutegeerekeka. Naye oluusi ekimukaabya just you basically a son and a daughter. Tagenda kukusubwa beyond that. Now every human being was designed to miss someone because of what they put on the table. Now amongst your social circle, bwewerabanga bwofa wiiki teweranga bakujjukira omanya you've not done enough. Kati mbeegayiridde, let's be people who are purposeful in life. I know we have very many distractions today. Naye gezaako ennyo okulaba nga you're not in that band of being distracted. Obeera omuntu alina omulamwa mu bulamu. Society ekuwaga era ekuwaayiriza kyali kaana kato. Ndabye n'ebibuuzo bye mubuuzaawo ne ngamba nti abantu mmwe lwaki? Why do you waste time? Why do you waste time? Kwegamba nammwe mulinze singa bannabbi baali bakyakka twetaagayo nabbi omulembe guno. Actually Allah yandimutuwadde nga namukambwemu. Kubanga olabira ddala nga what is happening today tewaliiwo gye twandiwonye, twandibadde tumwetaaga. A lot is happening, very many distractions. Kati bambi zisanga omuntu ali atalina papasi mu bulamu gwe nga batwala. Omuyugano nga gukola gutya? Gukutwala. A simple example. Omulembese gwe gwa social media kati. Just a disclaimer before I even put this as a point. Siri mukwegayirira, I'm only educating. Kati bambi omwana waffe omulenzi, a father tomorrow someday, a boss tomorrow. Okutte essimu. Bw'okutte essimu waliwo akayimba akaliko. Omusajja omukulu in 10 years, just lwakuba okyalina emyaka 21, but in 10 years ogenda beera na 31. Bakukutte ka video okunamyemu awo owemudde n'okuwemula. Ate olina data n'opostinga. Bw'omala opostinga ne bakuwa likes kubanga research eraga abasiru mu dunia be basinga obungi. That's why bw'oba okunamye likes ojja zifuna ne comments ojja zifuna kubanga banno bangi. Bw'okola ekyamagezi abagezi batono era be bagenda likingawo katono nnyo. Awo nono weebale nnyo kugasa umma. webali nnyo contributinga tebasukka na 10 abo at times kuba batoneera temunyiiganga bannaye abakola ebyamagezi kati omaze okupiininga what you're doing psychologically you're documenting your past kati bambi opostinze abantu bakulengedde oli mwana muto all you're doing n'omuntu ayinza okulaba mu potential nti omwana ono mulabamu okubanga ali outspoken amagezi mwegali I think I need to finance them, I need to empower them, I need to invest in them for them to be good people tomorrow. Talina wakulengera. Your whole phone book ejjudde banno nga mutategeera kwegamba oluteeka ku status bwoti be bagenda okukuwaana otukunamidde mwana gwe wakula bulungi bakuwanyi buwanyi wakula bulungi wakola bwoti at 22 wallahi you're useless ge mazima. Now I'm not saying tochikola, but all I'm saying I'm educating you that weesubya chances nyingi kubanga osazeewo kusiru wala ate nga toli musiru. Now that is the guidance of Islam. Ate wekituuka ku mwana ow'omuwala it's the same case. Lwaki weeyambula? Kati buli kaseera omuwalimu bwayingira mu maaso ng'atandika bannange abaana ab'obuwala muyitiriza okukunaama n'abaana abalinzi mwambala bubi mugezeeko nnyo kubanga Allah atugamba vaasi ne ziyiika n'ennabbi atugamba hadisi ne ziyiika bali ku ggwe nno naawe n'ogamba nti batulekemukko kubanga ebyaddiini bya ddiini this is life, it's a free world, let us do what we want. Nga naffe tugamba nti tetukuyinaako buzibu kuba teri muwalimu nga nnabbi omulimu gw'abannabbi ayinza okulumirirwa ennyo nti bambika n'akawala kalaba nno bannange njagala kabeere mu paati yange naye n'ennabbi bamuggyako he was exonerated kuba kyamulumanga ng'alaba abantu abeesiriwaza ate bantu bamulembe gwe. Allah n'amugamba lasta alayhim bimusaytir, omutima gukulumira bwereere omuntu bwe yeesiruwalira muleke tobalinaako nnyo buyinza bwankomeredde. Kati osubira ki kati mb'omuwalimu era awulire ng'afa olw'okuba omuwala akunamye olw'okuba buli muntu alina ettabbu ye. Nze ettabbu yange maka gange n'abaana bange kasabaterera bwe bati kiwedde. My friends and families, it's a lot of burden. Kimmala bumazi wenkomaawo naye nga bali ku ggwe olina kwambala bulungi because emitendera egyo those ties bw'oba ng'ogimenye you might take ages to bring it back. Now it's today where you're going to find a youth that is finding pride mukwebaka n'abawala abangi. Allah, you're useless. Ge mazima, take it down. Toina mulamwa. You have failed as a man in society. You have failed as a father tomorrow. Even your kids, offsprings, tebasobola na kweyagaliramu. Now because of those funny mistakes people make, yesobola kyo ina n'abaana kati babiri. Ku myaka 21 oyina abaana babiri mu bawala ab'enjawulo bakusiba nako. Now what are you doing? You just have to wake up nomanya nti kale naseerera. Let me wake up and start a new journey of being a responsible citizen. Naye kati amasomero they are aiding people okukola ebyekisiru. The society tekuyinaako buzibu because when you decide to sleep with a girl that is very easy, kyangu nnyo naye ate okuwasa kutagala mukko. Kati ogenda okulaba nga there is a lot of drama that is happening within the young generation, something that you would not like to be part of. Now, as a young Muslim, you need to put it in mind that there is you yesterday, there was you yesterday, there is you right now, and there is another version of you tomorrow. Just have to make sure tomorrow is a better version of yourself. This is why your religion is here to guide you. Oleme kubeera muntu ali misguided, obeera omuntu alina omulamwa ng'okola ki? Ng'otambula. Now lastly, before we get to the Q&A, because time is bad, it's not on our best side, there is a certain book, it's called Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. Ya categorizinga entegeera zaffe mu mitendero esatu. Omutendero, it's a very beautiful book. Look for it and read. Naddala omusajja ayagala okukula ng'olinamu ku mulamwa. Si swahaba, just ibintu bya dunia naye just ofunafunamu ku magezi ago. N'ofunamu agakugasa, agatagasa n'okola ki? Ya categorizinga abantu mu mbeera mmeka? 3. Embeera esooka, it is the initial stage. Initial stage kitegeeza it is a group of people abatannaba kwezuula. Ojja kungamba oba okyalimu abo banedda. Abatannaba kwezuula kitegeeza be bantu nga tebanaana kuyiga bafuga batya obusungu. Bakyamufu bw'oba oyagala omumukyamula tatwala na ssaawa wamukyamudde dda. Bagamba tali in control of even their emotions. Ye muntu nga bw'akyamuka akyamukira ddala. Kugamba basically bakyezuula baana bato. The simple example I normally use, I've already used it. Ye mwana omuwala for example ajjayo essimu ne yeekwata nga just ayina kapale, the inner wear ne katoopu ng'abisseeko n'akubamu awo amazina n'apostinga. Kati bambi bw'apostinga olw'okuba ensi yonna gye tusookereeyo ffenna abeezuula baba bakyali bangi. Simanya 15, 16, 20. Kale ebyo nno just categorization ya dunia. 20 no bawakula dda mu busiraamu eno nakubanga otegeera. Naye kati jaswa society erina gye tututte kale 21 okyali awo kyezuula. Omwana oyo bw'apostinga ba age mates be bonna bagenda muwagamu awo. Yeggwe nno wateekayo comment kati olimu oluwalimu. Allah atonda no posting. Mulimu n'abalala abakisussaamu ti how I wish you were mine balinga nga 3. Abantu 1,000, abantu 5,000 ne balayikinga ne bakomentinga kati agenze viral olwo. Naye nga bambi obwa viral bwagenzeeko teri wadde alina ofiisi ekyusa ensi. Bonna ekyobugagga kye balina data. Kati ogoyinze viral mu bantu b'oteetaaga abatalina kye bagatta ku duniya eno. That is the first. Kuba abo abatategeera nnyo bangi. That's why you go viral. The second category be bantu nga the community relies on them. Those are the intellectuals. Abantu abalina kye baddiza community. Abantu abalina omugaso gwe baddiza wa community, oba bazimbi oba ba media practitioners nga Sheikh Maweje, family people. Omuntu nga alina ne kumaka nga butuufu bwalwawo n'okudda waliwo amusabira nti ayi Allah wandikomezaawo mukyala wange, wandikomezaawo bba wange, awo tonnatuukawo okyali eri wansi. Abantu abo nawo weebali bambi. Abantu abategeera, they will always comment on to positive stuff. Bayina ekitiibwa kyabwe ekyokukuuma. Bayina abantu beba relating nabo, like they don't just be part of stuff nga tebamaze kwetegereza biki bino byo. It is the second category. Now the last category is the category of the self-realization. Category gyotuukamu nga you've seen enough. Normally it kicks in ng'omuntu akuliridde. Awangadde alabye abantu abamulyamu olukwe be bazadde bonna. Alabye abaana abeekyanga. Gamba alabye ekimala takyaduduma tokyalina ky'oyinza kukola ne kimujja mu kifo. They have lived and seen a lot. Igwa ina attachment nabo gwe yeesootinga. Oba otegeera n'otegeera oba totegeera bejjeeko genda ewalala. Tusaba Allah aleme tuteeka mu bantu abasookebwako. It is healthy to start from there at the right stage. Bwe tusanga akaana ak'emyaka 10 nga kakola ebitategeerekeka, benefit of doubt, we are like akyakula. 15 katandisa afunamu obwagazi akwana buli kiramu. Tugamba nti bimusagazeeko, emotions teziri in check. Ye wawulira ng'onaamunyiriridde nkwagala ate akiraba ku TV. Nono nkwagala nga beeyagala mukaawo 15 ne 16 omukwano gukola gutya. I can't live without you, blah blah blah. Bazadde be bapataasa nti mwe. It is too early. Tugamba nti it is okay. Naye owa 23, 20, omuvubuka owa 20 naawe olinze nti it takes a lot okugenda ew'omwana omuwala n'omugamba nti we start up a family. Ng'omusajja oba wakirowoozezzaako dda ogenda mmusuzaawo, ogenda mmuliisa ki, ogenda kutandika otya, waliwo okubeera taata enkeera. Ebyo byonna bw'obirowoozaamuko obwagazi ne bwe babuzza ennyo busooka ne bukkamu. Gamba tuyinza obutamalaako ne weeseetinga. Naye bw'otuuka mu 20 nga bumaze okweseetinga ng'amagezi gajja dda, awo n'amaka osobola okutandika. tusaba Allah tuteeke mu bantu abali purposeful in life. Now that is the guidance of Islam. The reason as to why we don't take alcohol is that we are people that reason and think from when we are given birth to until we die. Era ezimu ku nsonga lwaki omuntu bw'anywa omwenge afuna omusango. We don't deal with anything that interrupts your intellect. Now tuleme kuswaza Katonda waffe, tuleme kuswaza Nabbi. Let's make our religion proud of ourselves. Nga tukola ebintu in the straight line, nga tuli purposeful in line. Funa omulamwa. What you want to be tomorrow, work towards it. Yes, kati waliwo ebiri social nga byo Allah yabisaasira nga ojja bifuna, like being a father and a mother, a husband and a wife. At the right time ojja bifuna if you're serious enough osobola n'obitandikako. Ate nno mmwe ebintu birowoozaako. Kati nammwe mulinze mbu Nabbi ajja ababuulire nti what makes you ready as a man to start up a family is not what makes those girls ready. What makes those girls ready, it's more of a natural pace. Igwe newogenda mu gym at 20, nokola omubiri, you're not yet ready because it goes beyond body for you as a man. Ekyo bw'okirowoozaako sooka n'osalamu ne ku speed. N'omanya nti ng'omusajja weetaaga okuba ng'oli mugumiikiriza nnyo to start up a family. Oteekeddwa okuba n'omusajja atali emotional. Kubanga teri musajja yali abadde emotion n'awangaaza amaka. Kati mulowooza mbawa bigambo bipya. But this is a reality of your own. Bambi ka ogiiko side eri by 20 oyo ali ready. 20? Kasitaafu n'omusajja omutegeevu. Yagenze dda university agisoma mufumbo. Gwokyalina ettabbu yotoyina na mulimu sajja wattu, which is okay. Ate ogutandika otya 20 olina okukola omulimu ate otandike Allah bw'akusaasira university ewedde olinayo n'ettabbu waliwo emyaka yo egy'okuyiriba kwegamba ogenda okulaba nga you have a lot to do as a man to be useful in a society. You have to put something out. Naye bambi y'omuwala kasita alya bulungi kasa yeesiga ebizigo n'empisa nga mweziri eddiini mweziri ali ready. That is enough for you to always have a purpose in life. N'omanya nti bannange these dynamics are real. Ne weeworking onto yourself, no making sure nti you start a journey nga tewejjusizza. Tusaba Allah abeere nga tuteeka mu bantu abali straight like that. Let everyone, when you go back from here, ng'omaze okulya emmere, omaze okunetworkinga, mumaze okwekyamulamu awo, sit down in your room at home, wherever you've come from, have that me time. Tuula wansi weebaleebalemu, that self-evaluation thing. Tuula wansi weebuuze nti amazima gali nti what is my purpose in life? What do I want to be 5 years from here? Like kikuyamba n'okuyamba okumanya okufuna direction bw'oba osaala okusaba Katonda n'omanya ekyokumusaba. Tell Allah, as a result of my thinking, I think this is my direction. Aid me into this. Please take me through this path. Sobole okuba nga nfuna kyenkola ki kyenjagala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala see us through that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us useful people in our communities. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate us in status, elevate us in minds, elevate us socially and so on. Allahumma ameen. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to take this opportunity to thank Sheikh Bulaf for the wonderful message he has shared with us. I believe it has been so beneficial to those who use their ears, as he has mentioned, as chapter 7 verse 179 mentions, لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين لا يبصرون بها ولهم آذان لا يسمعون بها. Now I want to go to the question and answer session, but before I head there, I want to mention a few lessons as an individual I've picked from what you've delivered to us today. I want to begin by what you started with, the individual purpose to the different communities where we come from. That should be a question to each and everybody here. When you go back to your home, think deeply about it. What is your individual purpose to that very community where you stay, where you work from, because many of us have started working. So where you work from, where you stay, where you started from, like that. Secondly, being purposeful in acquiring knowledge, regardless whichever knowledge you are acquiring. Is it secular-based knowledge, Islamic knowledge? We need to be purposeful in acquiring that particular knowledge and giving back to our communities as well. Thirdly, to let our behavior and actions always reflect our age. That is very, very important. Then avoiding the so many distractions in society, because we have nowhere to go, but we need to live within and know how we can avoid such distractions, because there are so many social media. We have the challenge of materialism affecting mostly the girls and a few boys. Then developing critical analysis skills in life by use of our hearts, eyes, and ears very well, as Sheikh has commented, picking the guidance from Surah Al-Araf, verse 179. We should own also a sense of direction in life. We should all select a direction we are heading to and put all our efforts towards heading to that specific direction. Then lastly, Sheikh has said that we should aim at bettering our future, the coming days. What we are today, we should aim at making it better tomorrow, inshallah. For me, I've analyzed those few lessons, and I think you've also analyzed many more than what I've pointed out. Now I want to task Sheikh Manswab to move around with this microphone. Whoever has a question, you already have yours, okay? It's okay. So whoever has a question, please notify us and sound it out. Let us not waste time.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay. My question is straightforward. You said individuals of our status should opt to look for what our purposes are in life as soon as possible, isn't it? Now, it's a personal experience. What if you find yourself that the purpose you're serving in your community isn't one that is on the side of Islam, but it's the one that's most gainful to maybe you as a person or to your family? I'd like to give an example. Like, I have very many relatives that work in banking, you get, and even if it is like a holiday job, they'll get you a job that's in banking. But you know, there is no halal banking in Uganda. You're dealing with people who want loans but on interest. But then that's the only way you're going to make a living, because that's what they can get you at that moment in time. You get it? So what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to leave it and opt for something that's better, or you're supposed to go with that and then just go with Tauba 24/7?
For how long shall you be doing that? Let me give back the microphone.
Now, being purposeful in life, I think I should be more clear. We have different aspects. There is the social aspect, there is the religious aspect, and political, if you might say, and economical too. Now, Islamically, definitely, point of correction, we have Islamic banking in Uganda. It is, and it has officially launched definitely by the government. That was it last year. And a few institutions are practicing it. Maybe the goal is, by the end of this year, inshallah, our prayer is every standing bank should at least have a consultant, Islamic law consultant, to guide it when it comes to the Islamic banking thing. So that is some good news. So even when you will find a bank that is not having Islam as a foundation, but at least they will have that docket there. So that is some good news. Secondly, the fact that you're employed in a bank, in an institution that deals into interests, doesn't necessarily mean you have strokes from Allah. Because of two conditions. Maybe if you're the owner of the bank, that is one, because we have it as a principle. You can't be convicted Islamically about something you have no control over. So you just make sure you're not part of it directly if you're in a position of decision making in that line. If you're restricted from it, then just do what a basic Muslim does. Do your job, do the accounts there. That's your job there, and then as you pray for another option, maybe tomorrow. Now, that is when I go religiously to find purpose in life. You make sure that our major purpose as Muslims is to please our Creator in whatever we are doing. So as you're entering the job market, you make sure at least you're not doing something that is oppo-Islam. You do something that is pro-Islam. And socially, find a purpose also in the social aspect, your own aspect. Who are your friends? How are you helping your parents? Do you really think your parents think about you if they want to relax, or if they want stress away, you need to be away from them? Now it's as early as now where you're going to be like, learn the discipline of serving your parents because of what they did. That is also another good purpose. Because if you're to inquire up from someone who doesn't have one, they would wish to serve their parents. So that is also a good direction as early as now to start making sure you please and serve your parents in that aspect. Contribute towards their being good. Yes, and then politically, it's the same direction, and we have the principle that guides us all through. You make sure your purpose is in line with the Islamic principles. I think I'm clear. Barakallah.
Barakallah, Sheikh, for the response. Hope you were answered, Sheikh Fahad. Are you answered? All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, in your explanation, you referenced Al-Ghashiyah 22, where Allah told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Lasta alayhim bimusaytir." I don't know if I'm misinterpreting or misunderstanding the context, but the Prophet himself had a hadith where he said, "Man ra'a minkum munkara falyughayyirhu." You know how the hadith goes. Is it in a similar context? Because after that ayah, the ayahs that follow, "Lasta alayhim bimusaytir illa man tawalla wa kafar," and whatever goes after. I just want to understand the context, and maybe if you can go deeper into explanation of that.
Now, as the Prophet, we all know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The genesis of the verse was Prophet had it within him, the goodness in him. He wished everyone would be part of his story. Actually, it used to affect him deeply, psychologically as a person, to his personality, seeing someone off track. Because to him, he was like, my job here is to make these people on the right path, but looks like I'm failing. Some people are not buying my idea. Now, it used to hit him hard. Now, I'll putting on improperly. It doesn't make sense. Now, the guidance Islamically is, even when people have devoted themselves to calling people to the right track, they need to be guided to just make sure whoever is being called to the right track is not making like that reality to exploit whoever is doing that. Now, when we get to the other verse, am I forgetting? The hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where the Prophet is like, "Man ra'a minkum munkara." If any of us sees anything bad in a society, anything immoral in that case, فَلْيُغَيِّرُهُ بِيَدِهِ. The science is, use your hand to do that. By the use of the hand, the jurisprudence of the hadith goes beyond the literal meaning of it. It's not basically the hand. Maybe another translation would be if you have an authority over it, because the hand then indicated authority. Today, I don't need to, for example, at my office, if I want to sack someone, I don't need to physically be there and I'm like, go. Maybe it's just a phone call. I want them off. And then everything will just, that is also authority. Now, Prophet was like, if you have access to that, then deal with the injustice, immorality, do away with it. Now, that's people who are in places of positions, like places that influence others. The second bit was like, فَإِلَّمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. If you can't, at least, you don't have the authority to do that, you don't have the power to do that, you can't actually do that by your hand, literally, then at least talk about it. But there's also guidance there. How are you going to approach it? Because when you're going to talk about something bad, you don't just come out and you be like, this is something bad. Now, today we are in the generation of why. You need to task yourself as a sheikh in making, a sheikhat in making, a leader in making. If you want us to leave something immoral, you have to package a well-convincing lecture that convinces us not to do it. Beyond just saying, kino tekikkirizibwa mukireke. Because there is a reason as to why it is made haram. Now you task yourself to do enough research to explain people as to why it was made haram. You get the point. Now, فَلْيُغَيِّرُهُ بِلِسَانِهِ. Talk about it. Yeah? Engage in meetings to make sure you strategize how you're going to deal away with it and so on. After that, فَمِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. If you can't speak about it because you're limited, maybe you're poor at speaking, you have no communication skills. Some people are good at that. You can't speak about something. True or false? Ensonga gyoyogerako ntuufu naye nga okugyogerako okwo kwa kabenje nnyo okusinga ogireka. That's what you forget. Now, Islamically, not everyone that owns a mouth should speak. فَلْيَقُلْ خَيْرًا أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ. There is a lot of science in speaking. When someone is listening, they have an opportunity to profile whoever is speaking. Now, there is power in listening, the power that is not in talking. Now, when you're there, you're analyzing me. You're analyzing the flow of communication, the tonation, my gestures. You have the ability because you're focusing on listening. I'm not listening. That's why I don't have that power. I can't even profile any of you here. I'm focusing on the talking. That's the power Islam gives. Now, when Prophet is like, Fabilisani, it's like elevating our communication skills. If you can't, you're not good at speaking. Oyogera bubi, okolya otoyina na mpisa ng'oyogera, enjogera yo erumbalumba. Like, spare it. Leave it for people who can do it well. And then the other option is فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ. If you can't speak, you're not in position of authority, the least you can do is to hate it from the inside. وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. Now many of us are like, omuntu akyetamiddwa ku mutima kati ye musiraamu ye mukkiriza akola ki? Ye munafu, ye mukkiriza asinga obuki? Obunafu. Now, let me educate you this. ذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ, from the jurisprudence of it, has nothing to do with elevating us in faith. ذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ is a statement that educates us that it's the beginning of faith. Everyone tutandikireeyo. Bwe tugamba nti obwenzi tetubwagala, ffenna tetubwagala. That's it. Obukyawa nga tobukola. Now, it only takes another skill, another advantage to leave that basic level etali embi n'otuuka ku level eyogera abantu ne bakuwulira. Is it true that every sheikh influences people? Is it true that every speaker is listened to? Definitely no. Now, when I come to a community nga temujja kumpuliriza, why would I talk? Because the principle is, if you're not heard, shut up. You only speak when people are interested in listening. Now, those other advantages come in to make sure the speaking, communication, effective of it is not interrupted. Now, from the Kujichawa, Dhalika Adhaful Iman, Prophet is just, every Muslim starts from here. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you now hate it from the heart, now you're the most weak of the believers. I think it's now clear. Why is it like that? Because to just make Islam administrative in a way. Kana akavyo ketubeeramu wanene. Everyone thinking that they should speak, everyone thinking that they should do something. At times, doing something might bring problems to us. And we have it as a principle, al-amru bil ma'rufi wajib. Telling people to do good, it's compulsory onto everyone. I don't just left you off track like that. But then, on top of that reality, if we analyze that you're attempting to tell people to do good is going to bring out another bigger munkar, bigger than this one, fatarkuhu awla. For example, you might stand here, this cameraman is here, and you start, ladies and gentlemen, if you know you're not a Muslim, I would like to inform you that totegera mu dunia muno. Because no isaola inao no ovuma olumba totegera toyina nnyo makulu twewuunya n'okwewuunya muwangaala mutya otandise. In the long run, kyotukolera etabbu gy'oli mu creatinga weesirikire tukusonyiye. Because the minority we in this community, everyone that is not a Muslim is going to think there is a battle. Gy'oli tukuwadde obuyinza okutandika olutalo. Empala neetandise y'amadiini abasiraamu baliwe bati, because of the one statement of the unqualified speaker who is saying something out there. Now, are you getting the difference? What you're doing might not necessarily mean you should just give it out like that. Now, the reason as to why I wanted to expound onto the hadith is because the brother has made mention of it, and I was like, okay, let us try to expand onto it from the jurisprudence a bit of point. I think it's clear now. Barakallahu fikum.
Fikum barakallah. Anybody else? Ladies, please let us get represented. Aisha.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
First of all, I would like to thank the Sheikh for his deliverance he has given to us today. And first of all, mine is not a question, as it might seem, but it's to point out maybe what I've learned to what I've experienced before. While you were teaching or while you were delivering to us, you asked a question. 50 years back, the 20-year-old of then, what would they be doing by then? One time I was seated with my father, and then he asked me my age. I told him. Then he told me, by your age, I was almost getting your elder sister. And he already had my mother, my elder mother, and a family and a house. So he already had started a family by then, at that age. So he was like, what are you doing right now? And what are you up to at that age of yours? And I was still in senior 6 because that was last year. And he was asking me that. So right now, it's a question to all of us that at that age of yours, if he had a family by then, at this age, and I'm almost a year or more than that age. So right now, what are we up to and what is our purpose in society for all of us today here? Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
A very important point. Thank you very much, Sheikh Sufyan. I want to have someone from the girls, please. Don't lag us behind. Say something. Are we done? Mariam, any queries to share? You've understood everything. Should we give him a chance to ask us? Can we give the right responses? Okay, can I invite our coordinator, the Master of Ceremonies, to tell us what we are going for next? But before he comes, I want to say that thank you very much, Sheikh Mulaf. Indeed, I came in late. I missed the first session of Sheikh Abdul Swabur. I found Sheikh Kasumba winding up. But at least for yours, I've attended the whole of it. And I believe it's going to give me very many thoughts when I go back to where I live. Yeah. Even the hadith that Faisal has raised, we had a wrong understanding of that hadith. But from today, I've gotten the very right understanding of that hadith. So that hadith is applied from the very last statement going upwards. It has very good. It has very been good for me today. Sheikh Salman, you are most welcome. And thank you for being smart. I wish I had dressed like you today. Come on, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So dressing smart, it is not my own making, but it is naturally family disease. So I must appreciate Lilac House of Fashion. It is the only company that I deal with when it comes to my own personal wares. The purpose I have in life, I for one, is to support every youth that has started up a business, and I can do it to the very best of my ability. For example, the one who does this artwork, she's my sister. So I cannot leave her, then go to someone else. Just like the way when she has got ceremonies at home, she can't just leave my company, which bakes cakes, for someone else. So we need to support each other. And that's why I want to make it a point for every individual in this room and the rooms out there, for those who will be watching the clips afterwards, do not underestimate the effort of any human being. The word effort is wide. Effort in terms of knowledge, effort in terms of service delivery, just like the way you say Thuraya Media, that is effort. Never underestimate the effort of any human being. The effort of La Vie Restaurant, where we are right now, it is a lot, okay? Although it comes at a fee, but it's a lot of what? Effort. So you can never know what's behind the closed doors. You never know. So do not undermine the efforts. Sheikh Bulaf, I thank you very much for the time that you have spared for us. I feel moved whenever you start to talk, whenever you start to present. Yeah, and I thank Allah for giving you the knowledge. I only ask Him to grant you more and more until no more.
Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. At this moment in time, allow me invite a few people from one of our own making so that we can conclude, then finally have one last item. Nanono Hadija and Amira Nasinde, Maria,
Nanono
is it?
Amira.
I'm mixing the names.
Yes, Hadija is someone different. So it's Nanono
But
Amira.
they are friends, isn't it? So if they are friends, that means I'm calling one person into two. So those two, they will take us in a session of cutting cake. But that will be after lunch. Yeah, after lunch, we have that small session for cutting cake. We'll be spearheading that. At this moment, allow me invite the COSA president, none other than Mulumba Abdul Karim. He's the one that we voted to be our COSA president. 2024, when Allah wills, we shall elect another one. But so far, we have that one. You're most welcome. I would like to take this opportunity to invite another spokesperson, and that is none other than the Coastal Union, Sheikh Sufyan Lubega, to come join me here at this point in time. Without forgetting the treasurer, please come along. I want to show you the entire team which has been manning this entire project. You know, the organizing committee is just too big, but we finally chose a few groups of people to head a very big committee. So these are the only people that I've been working with, like intensively. They are people of a working class somewhere, somehow. For the case of no, I think the entire committee come before these people start to give their speeches. Please, the organizing committee come forward.
تفضل. You are trying to
Organizing committee, please come.
Tinka Nabil, please come along.
Please come along so that I can give you room.
Serwanga Nasif.
Where are they? We are around 17 people, if I'm not mistaken.
Serwanga Nasif.
Where is Sheikh Manswab? That one has been manning activities in school. Yeah, I think phones are allowed. According to the new curriculum, they are allowed somewhere, somehow. I guess, I don't know. So the team of members that you see here, please don't hide. Come fill the space. Fill the space. No. Come next to Hadija. So think I'll go that side. So these are the committee members.
Most welcome. We have missed you up here.
So these are the committee members that we have been working with. I'm not seeing him. Please come. So each of these members has been performing a significant role in making sure that Darus is in place. Since I'm a coordinator, I'm not a COSA 2024. I'm a COSA 2017. A very significant space in terms of duration. I'm much older than you by how many years? 2? By 1, of course. All right, by 8. So he has been manning the public address system. She has been our head girl at Chiwi Secondary School. She has been our secretary, treasurer COSA, then treasurer organizing committee. He's our former CAMSA chairperson, and he has been the chairperson of this organizing committee. He has been chairing it with the COSA president. Then Sheikh Butane has been our divisor. Then the rest of the people that you see the other side, Sheikh Manswab has been manning the catering department one way or the other. We have had the chief mobilizer. We have had the tinker and your friend, Semakula Time. They have been mobilizing us in all angles. So this is the team. Some of them have not come, but for those who are here, I wanted you to know that they are here with us. So I think you can take your seats. We take the speeches, we go in for lunch. Then after lunch, we shall go in for one of the very last sessions. Thank you very much.